And then I was talking to the same friend, and then he reminded me of something, the Shikoku pilgrimage. And it's this pilgrimage around Shikoku, an island in Japan of about 1,200 kilometres. And I'd always heard that you needed to prepare for, 3 months or something to do it physically and maybe mentally as well. But I'm always ready, and I went knowing that I could just stop at any time anyway if things got too tough. That was always an option, just to stop. So I thought about doing that, and at that stage I had my phone disconnected as well. Oh, some birds. I had my phone disconnected because I was travelling around. I didn't want to keep paying for a plan, that's all. And so I would go without a phone as well, so I wouldn't be able to check my maps and things on the way. And that was probably going to be a good thing. But anyway, I just decided to go. And I thought, well, how can I get there? A nice way to get there. And there are ferries that leave from Tokyo and head down there to this island further in the south. So I got a overnight ferry down from Tokyo, arrived, and then I started the walk. I just started the walk. I had a guidebook with me that would give me some hints and tips if I got a bit stuck, but I could always ask people as well on the way. And I thought, well, people go, it's a pilgrimage to 88 temples, and you go to the temple and then you recite what's called the Heart Sutra, and you can have a vegetarian meal at these places, and some places you can stay at as well. And there's also huts along the way that they're just open huts. They don't even have proper walls. They've just got open slats, and slats for a bed as well, wooden slats. But I started the walk, and I thought, well, I'll just keep walking until I feel tired every day. And I never really get tired anyway. I might get a bit sleepy, so I just have to have a bit of a sleep, but I can always keep walking in general. And I wanted to see just how far I could go. And so I slept outside of a temple the first night, and then it was summer. So in summer in Japan, it starts to get light about 4 o'clock in the morning, and you've still got a bit of light, maybe 7 or 8 o'clock at night. So I had a lot of light in the day, but a lot of heat as well, up to 38 degrees going through there. And so I started the walk, and it took me about 3 weeks in all. This is going up and down 42 mountains. Again, it wouldn't even be classed as a hill in Nepal, but the highest one was 900 meters. But I walked around, walked to all the temples, and saw these places that you can never find if you just go by the road. If you went on the road, you have to turn off at one place and then go up maybe a gravel road or even a grassy road, and then turn off halfway up that, and then go through what looks like someone's property, and then behind that property maybe you'll find the pilgrim path. So doing the pilgrimage, you go through these places that you would never be able to even find if you just tried to walk through there. Or later on I went around there in a car with the same friend as well, and we couldn't find some of the places. And it's interesting too, because when you go to the temple on the pilgrimage path, you can see the temple there sometimes, and you're just here, it's a direct line, but the path will go like that, and then back, and then down, and then back again, and you have to stay relaxed the whole time, not even in a positive or a negative state, but a meditative state, because otherwise you can become frustrated because you seem to be going backwards, or you seem to be going up a hill when it didn't seem to be necessary at all to go up a hill. But it was like a expression of life as well. It's not a straight path. You want it to be a straight path, but if it was a straight path you wouldn't appreciate it. So it's, forward 2 steps, back 4 steps, and then forward again 1 step, that kind of thing always going on. And it's trying to teach you just to be relaxed, to accept things. And I continued on that. There were many moments. I wrote a book about it, and I took photos along the way as well. But I ended up walking about 20 hours a day, which seems incredible, but that's just what I did, and that's how I got That's how I finished it in about 3 weeks. And the goal wasn't to race or anything. It was just to continue to be in nature. And a lot of it is actually on roads as well. But when you're in nature, it's amazing as well. And I met a Zen Buddhist monk. He was on the way. I walked with him for a little bit, about half a day, I think it was. And then he took off to go up another mountain to meditate. And another woman said that she had done it in a clockwise and anti-clockwise direction. And she said, there's always something that happens, and miracles can occur. And that's what happened to me as well, because I got to I think it was the 44th temple, and distance-wise, I was already 900 k's in or something like that. It was much more than half, but psychologically, then I just put it as half, even though I knew that I didn't have so much more to go, 400 k's to go or something like that. And my feet were in such pain. It just felt like I was walking on my bones, and I could feel the difference between the road and the white lines that mark the edge of the road. And the white lines are much harder, and I could feel that hitting my feet. And I was using soft shoes as well. And then I had to walk on the pine needles by the side of the road just to get a little bit of a break. And I ended up just staggering along, almost crying, because it was so brutal after all this time. But I got to a point, I got into a forest, and I had to go uphill to this temple. I think it was the 44th at that stage. And I just felt something rush through me, from my feet right through my body. My feet became hot, and all the pain went, and my body stretched out again. I had a good posture again, and I felt all the wise people walking next to me, all the Greek philosophers, the Kobodaishi, the representative of this pilgrimage, and Einstein, and my dad, who had died. He was there with me as well, and I felt something pushing me from behind, as if I didn't even need to use any energy, and I was just getting pushed from behind, as if my pack suddenly weighed nothing. And all around I could see all the pine needles shimmering. I could see all the detail, and all the detail in the leaves and stuff. And there was a thistle there, I remembered, purple thistle, and that was glowing purple. So I was at this point of destruction, I suppose. I found that point. I found my limit, and my body wanted me to keep going. It pushed me to keep going, and that continued for about an hour. And I just cruised up this hill with all these spirits next to me, really. And I arrived there, and then continued the journey. And there was other things that happened as well. Like I was walking through to one temple at night, and I heard something. I heard rushing, and there's supposed to be bears in that area. They haven't seen one for a long time, but there were potentially bears there. But because I'd been walking for so long, I could see that it was deer by the way they were running. They ran for a bit and stopped, and I could see them. I didn't even need to have a vision at that stage. And so I kept going up the hill in the darkness, just with my torch. Got to the top of this hill where the temple was, and it started to rain. And I descended into the temple, and there's a little hut outside temples where usually one of the priests waits, and there's a donation box and stuff, and the priest blesses people or whatever. And I actually tried to open the door there, and it was unlocked. So I went inside, and then the rain came pouring down, and I slept next to the donation box statue, or tried to, and I was sleeping on my arms, and I had this vision of life starting again, as if life was coming out of the ocean. And it was some kind of dream or hallucination, I don't know, and I heard my brother's voice saying, "Move, move," like to, stay alive kind of thing. And I pulled my arms on the floor like that, like an amphibian, and I shot myself forward, and I almost hit the wall in front of me. But it was just to keep going, something to tell me to keep going. But it was a little miracle as well, because in the morning the rain stopped. I didn't get wet or anything like that, and I gave a donation, just 2 yen, a symbol. one for me and one for Kobo Daishi, who is walking with me. They say he walks with you, the Shinto priest, I suppose, or the Buddhist priest who walks with you, or the spirit of this journey. And it was actually the 1200th anniversary of it as well that year. So really strange coincidence.